Honored to be presenting Northstar Gold Corp at the Metals Investor Forum once again in the company of such amazing companies. Some very good stories today. Before I launch into things, the obligatory cautionary statement, I will be making some forward-looking statements. Prior to going public by way of a $3 million IPO earlier this year, Northstar operated as a private company focused primarily on gold exploration in northeastern Ontario in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt and more recently in the Kirkland Lake District. Our flagship project is the Miller Gold property. It's situated 18 kilometers southeast of Kirkland Lake and Kirkland Lake Gold's South Macassa mine complex operation. The company also has two other 100% owned properties. The Bryce Gold property is situated about 35 kilometers southwest of Miller, the intrusive hosted VMS style gold property that the company's put $4 million in over the years. And our last project is the Milestone copper nickel cobalt property in the Tawagami Lake area. Part of our going public initiative involved augmenting the board structure and management. And you can see that we've got a highly experienced and accomplished group of mining and exploration and corporate development professionals, both on a junior and a global basis for major companies. On the share structure side of things, you've got 38.8 million shares outstanding right now, 47.3 on a fully diluted basis. Management and directors and insiders account for just under half of the shares in the company. We have a small 6% institutional holding, and our cash position is just under $1 million right now. We have no debt. So since we went announced, and since we got public earlier in January, we got a fairly consistent news flow. Immediately after listing and closing the IPO, we commenced what turned out to be a 5,000 meter phase 1 diamond drill program on the Miller Gold property. This program was interrupted by COVID-19 complications and concerns. We had to suspend drilling in early April, and during that time, prior to that, we closed the $1 million flow-through financing and didn't really get drilling again until middle of June. June 3rd, we reported results from the first 13 holes that we drilled. We managed to drill about 2,200 meters, and you can see we got 18 grams per ton over 3.9 meters in the number 1 vein, and we made a couple new gold discoveries on the property. Commencing getting drilling going again in mid-June. Also, we commenced a $350,000 integrated geophysics program on the Miller property involving gravity, 3D, IP, and mag. And then, as you mentioned earlier, Gwen, on September 2nd, the company announced the remainder of our phase 1 drill results to date. You can see that we've got some high-grade 19.4 grams over 4.4 meters, and some within some very broad and compelling lower grade near surface intervals associated with the allied cyanide. So getting to the property, the Miller Gold property is situated, it shares a number of very important geological characteristics with deposits in the Kirkland Lake District. The number one being that the style of mineralization is it's primarily high-grade gold and tellurides associated in quartz veins. And tellurides are not a common component for mineral deposits, but when it's present, it's generally part of a very large mineralizing system, such as the Kirkland Lake Camp. Over 25 million ounces of gold have come out of the Kirkland Camp from seven mines, so it's a great location. Miller also shares similar age rock types as the Kirkland Lake Camp, albeit we have more of a volcanic component, and mineralization of the properties straddle first order structures that are connected to the Cadillac Larder Break, and in the Miller Gold instance, we have the Catherine Fault, which rips through the property and joins the Cadillac Break. So the inference is that we've got all these similarities and similar style of mineralization that the Miller Gold property could be tapping the same gold source for the Kirkland camp, albeit we're much shallower exploration so far, so it's early days. The Miller property was acquired by Northstar in 2012 by staking. Prior to the commencement of this program, we had $2 million into it to conduct 2 drill programs on it. The property is situated over a 3 kilometer by 2 kilometer area of high intense alteration and gold mineralization associated with the emplacement of 3 cyanide stocks and the Catherine fault structure, which I talked about earlier, that seems to be controlling things. The property is a site of the historic Boston Creek mining camp. There's 11 shallow shafts on the property where they chased near surface high-grade gold telluride veins. The Miller Independence mine was situated in here. In early 1987, a company came in and drilled 27 holes and established a historic estimate of 270,000 ounces of gold, 11.5 grams per ton. 2/3 of that estimate occurs on our property. Northstar does not control this section of the property. So the objective of phase 1 drilling was primarily to spot test this resource estimate in certain areas. The number 1 vein, we drilled about 16 holes in and around the allied cyanide and testing the number 1 vein, 6 holes in the allied cyanide, and 4 holes on the planet cyanide just up to the northwest, which we have not received results for as of yet. The breakdown of our phase 1 drill program, as I mentioned, 5,000 meters, 28 holes. We were fortunate to make a number of new discoveries, and that I'll show you presently. A couple flatline veins hanging well to the number 1 vein, which we collectively refer to as the Allied Gold Zone. And all our geophysical results are in hand now, and we're currently getting them processed, and versions are being made, and gold spot discoveries will be assisting us in examining our model and helping us model the deposit and lay out an exploration approach for a phase 2 program, which we hope to commence in October. This map illustrates where in red the holes that were drilled in 2020 drill program. You can see, I appreciate it's a busy map, but the takeaway here is just this is the size of the allied cyanide as it's been modeled. This red area here indicates the large bulk tonnage zone near surface that I'll show you a little more in the next slide, and this zone remains open along strike. This is the area of the historic estimate, the number 1 vein zone. This is where the number 1 vein outcrops on surface, and so our drill exploration today is to find this vein over 750 meters down plunge and 750 meters on strike. This slide illustrates the drilling in red, the 2020 results that we have so far, in concert with previous results that Northstar has obtained by drilling the Miller property, the allied cyanide. You can see hole number 49. We've got 8 grams over 15 meters, 19.4 grams over 4.4 meters, and this adds to a broad 118 meter intercept of 1.4 grams per ton. This is on the east side. Interesting to note that most of these high-grade numbers are within the volcanics peripheral to the cyanide. On the west side of the cyanide, we have hole 47. We've got similar tenor and some decent grades over additional widths, other veins that I will show you. So these results complement what Northstar has received here in the past: a gram over 104 meters, 40.5 grams over a meter in the allied cyanide. Footwall to this, we discovered what we think is one of the vertical feeders to the Miller, to the allied cyanide, and I'll show more about that in a bit. Planet cyanide, again, 147 meters, 0.6 grams. Historically that we drilled, we're waiting on results for that. And the number 1 vein, you can see we've managed to replicate some of the higher grade results previously obtained. So the best way to visualize this is with this 3D model, and it illustrates the the #1 vein zone, which remains open along depth. You can see our results, shallower drilling to the to the west, and the historic estimate. This includes the historic estimate, and that carries on down to about here, over about a 30-meter wide swath. The hole 47, the intercept that I talked about, is here on the west side, and hole 49 on this side. And you can see that we've got 3 new vein discoveries here, and collectively refer to this as the Allied Cyanide Gold Zone. So it remains open along strike, and we're not sure what's going on at depth just yet. And the vertical Allied zone, which underplates everything, we got 14 grams over 3 meters from our earlier phase 1 drilling. Quickly, the planet Cyanide is situated about 1 kilometer northwest of Alva Allied. I mentioned we put 4 holes into here. We're still waiting on results, but you can see it's a similar story. We've got some narrow, higher grade intercepts, but we also have, when you look at it along the edge of the periphery of it, 147 meters at 0.6 grams. So, and it's as much closer proximity to the Catherine Fault. So we're looking forward to the results for that. This is just IP chargeability, 150 meters deep of the Miller, and you can see that the Catherine Fault clearly marks the boundary, the eastern boundary of this large chargeability system, 600 meters by 1.6 kilometers, centered over these planet and allied cyanides. So in summary, Northstar has got the Miller Gold property has got some very compelling similarities and characteristics of Kirkland Lake mines and deposits, and we think we've got excellent potential in terms of size and tenor for some of those deposits. We definitely have an intrusive component that we're still getting our minds around, and that's quite similar to the Signal and Mac mines. Our phase 1 drill program was highly successful, resulted in 4 new high-grade gold structures discovered. We've got a very tight share structure, accomplished board and management, and there's more to come. We're currently positioning to undertake a 4,000-meter phase 2 drill program this fall. Thank you so much.